One of the fundamentals and important things in programming languages in all of them is for loops. So let's go and start with for loop in Python. What is for loop? It's something that we can iterate over a sequence. For example, over a string, over a range of numbers or something like that. It will prevent to write same code many times. Let's assume that we have a word variable and the amount of that is Python. We want to print out each of the letters that we have in this word. Simply we can do this. Print P and after that print Y and etc etc. Okay, to finish it Python. Okay, but I want to prevent this kind of codes and write same codes in for example 10 lines. How we can do that? Simply with a for loop in Python. I can say for letter in word that we have, word variable, just simply please print letter. Okay, this letter that I wrote here, it's something that the name of that, it's something that we can use. For example, I can write X here. Anything I can write. This for and this in, they are key words that we are writing for the for loop, and the word also is the variable that we have. If I run this, let's see what is our output. As you can see, I can in the output I can see all the letters of the Python variable we have here. Python is a good programming language. I changed that, and if I run this again, as you can see, I have all of that in the output. And let's assume that we want to print out all of them separately. We should write a lot of print here, but with a simple for loop and in 2 lines we are achieving that goal. Okay, let's deep dive in the for loop. Just a simple example that we have. Mainly for loop are running on the range of the numbers. What am I mean by that? For example, let's assume we want to print out 1 to 5 or maybe 1 to 10. How can I handle that? I can say for number in range of 5 or maybe 10, just please print number for us. It's simple. Again, the number is something that I can change here. For an in or keywords, and the range will be tell us a range of for example 0 to 10. It's a range of a variable. The maximum of that will be 10. If I run this, it will be print 0 to 9 here. But what happened? I wrote 10 here. So it's something that we should take care. If for example we write here in the range, for example 11 or 10, 10 will be the maximum of that, and the range will be run less than the maximum. It will be less than the 10. All the numbers less than 10. If I put for example 12 here, it will print 0 to 11 and it won't print 12 for us, as you can see here. So it's really important. Again, it's a simple loop. Let's deep dive and have another example, for number in range, I want to use range in another way. I want to say from 0 to 10 with steps of 2. What is that? Let me print number and let's see what will happen. As you can see, in output we just have 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. If I remove these two number here, as you can see, the output will be all the numbers in this range. Again, we can write the range like this, 0 to 10, or maybe just 10. Both of them is okay. But I want to say from 0 to 10, and your step will be 2. So it will produce just 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 for us. Okay. If I change the step to 3, the step will be changed and the output will be 0, 3, 6, and 9. I can have any other step that I want. So this step is also really important to achieve our goal, depend on the structure and situation we want to use for loop. Let's have another thing here. I have this for loop for number in range 0 to 10 by a step, for example 2, and I want to have else for this loop. What will happen? Else print loop completed. Okay, let me run this code, and as you can see, as soon as the loop completed and all the codes in the loop completed, it will goes to else statement for the loop and print this loop completed for me. So it's something that we also can use else with the for here. Let's go out and have another example. Let's assume we have a for number in range of, for example, 10, and I want to have a condition here. I want to say if number equal to 5, please break, and otherwise just print number for me. What's happening here? Let me run this. We just have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but our range is 10. If I don't have this if here, let me comment it out, and I run that, I can see the output will be from 0 to 9. But if I have this if statement here, the output will be from 0 to 4. What is these lines of code and what is break? It says that if number equal to 5, it means if number when you iterate the number from 0, as soon as the number will equal to 5, please break. What does break mean? Break mean go out from these blocks of code, and I don't want to continue, and I don't want to see other outputs. From 0 to 4 was enough for me, and when the output, and I mean the number, is equal to 5, and the compiler and goes and here and see the break line, it will identify that it shouldn't go through the other, for example, iterates in the loop, and it will be break and will go out of this block. Let's have another example, and to clear this part of the for loop, I want to have, for example, number in range of 10 again, and I just want to print even numbers. How can I handle that? With a simple loop. If number by 2, let me see, equal to 0, it's a condition that will identify the even numbers. I can say, for example, simply print number. not number as a string, number as a variable. And if you see here, you can see we just have even numbers here, simply with a simple line of code and a for loop. For example, I can increase that to 100, and you can see we have all the odd numbers from 0 to 1, even numbers from 0 to 100. But let's talk about another approach here that we can handle this. I can say if this condition is true, please continue. And here, outside of if statement, print number. So what will happen here? Again, here we have the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. What is that? It's saying that if this condition is true, please just go through and continue. And if it's not true, I don't want to continue and don't want to do something for me. If I, for example, put not equal here, you can see we have again the even numbers. Does that make sense? I talked about two key words, for example. One of them is continue, and another one is break, that we can handle this kind of structure with that. But also, the most important things in these sections was for and for loop. For loop through the string as we had here, through the range of the number. Also, we can have for loop through the list and arrays. What is the list and arrays? I will talk about them later. And also, as soon as I talk about the arrays and lists and other data types, I will back to for loop and write a for loop to iterate through, for example, an array.